Okay, we're gonna do the last corner. We've done this one, that one, and we have those two bits to turn into a corner. Originally, we had this length, like this. So what we do is that we do a fold. We fold the material inside, so we get exactly a length of 36 centimeters here. And we do exactly the same with the side one to get a 24 centimeter length. And we really iron well those two stripes, which are part of the frame. And now there's a particular way to put them together into each other like this. That is to say, what I do is I open this up, I put that bit inside, then I do this. So I end up, I do it again for you. That's it, and that's it. I end up with something like this.
You have to fold it later?
So originally these two pieces are like this, well ironed. So what I do is I open that up, I tuck that in and put that on the top. And what I can do is to really iron well. And then the only thing I need to do now is to create the corner like this, folding in direction and pinning it, and do the same with the back. That is to say, like this, and pinning it as well. That's it. And I get my 4 corners ready. So the next step that I'm going to explain, but not do before you, is quite difficult, because you have to sew this top like this without sewing the back, because you've got to be able to put inside the centerpiece and the white piece of cotton, and of course later on the calligraphy. So it is a bit of a tricky thing to actually sew without going through the whole fabric, but keeping that space inside available so you can tuck the pieces of material in and frame the work. Okay? I'll show you that next time. Thank you. So basically the frame is done separately from the center body. The idea is you create a sort of nest in which you can put the center body with the white cotton and then the silk. Okay? So I told you it's important to be able to stick it in. So you should not sew through the material, but really only this part here. So I've left one corner open to show you how I proceed. I basically leave the back part free, and I use a pin, or I can just tack, whatever, like that, and I sew along here, along the edge. You can see the back here, making sure that I never go through this part of the fabric. Okay? So you sew along here, that's it. Not going through the back. Actually the back is in your hand, and you hold it.
So you follow along where the pin is,
yes,
right
that's
there.
That's it. And you hold the back in your hand to make sure that you do not go through here. That would be not good because you couldn't put the material inside after. And once you finish it, you make a knot inside and you fold it again. And then you have this kind of little pocket in which you can put the center part. So the center part is made of, traditionally, of three parts. The front, a white cotton behind. This white cotton gives a substance to the rakusu, and also it helps when the teacher does the calligraphy on the rakusu. It helps to absorb the ink, so the ink doesn't go at the front. Okay? So these two, because it cannot be three, the silk is going to be done separately at a later stage by Jundo, and you've got to actually sew it into your rakusu. So we've got to have to put this into this frame. So the way to do it is simply by fiddling with your fingers. You just go inside. That's it. And the difficulty is that it moves all the time because it's a fabric. So it's not easy. That's it. Here we are. And there is, you see, this is the wrong side, of course, just to give you an idea. The right side being the side, which is this one, with the sewing here, because that's what appears at the front, okay? So we've got to do it like this. So I repeat, you lay down your frame flat with the stitches facing you.
The side with the stitches facing you is the front?
Facing you. Because at the back, actually, there will be no stitches visible here. Just as I show you later, stitches across here and on the edge, but none appearing there in the diagonal. Okay, so stitches facing you, and then you put the frame inside, and the centerpiece inside the frame, and it's very much a kind of feeling thing. You've got to actually touch with your fingers, make sure it gets in properly. Okay, you see? Now and if you move slightly, of course, it gets out. Now that can take quite a long time of moving things around to get them in. Okay, that's alright, that's alright. That corner is not alright. Okay, a bit better. Alright, you see? That's now getting there. Okay. Now what you have to make sure is that your measurements are about right. So remember, roughly 9, 5, 4, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5. So you take your ruler and you adjust the centerpiece inside accordingly. That's not 3, 5, so you push it slightly on the side. That's it. Adjust it here and there. That's about it. That's about it. And
what are the measurements again?
Well, it's between 4 and 4,5 here, 9 and 9,5 there. Depends actually on the size of the person. The rakusu may vary according to your height, the proportion of your body. This is a standard sort of size, but of course, if you're a petite woman, generally the rule is that the rakusu should be smaller. But that doesn't actually apply these days. And in Japan, actually, rakusu tends to be smaller than in the West, because we are bigger guys. And as well as if you use centimeters rather than inches, the rakusu gets slightly bigger as well, because of the conversion of measurement from the original Japanese, which what they call it in bu. Right, so once you've got this, you can pin it just along here. Once you're happy with the way it's placed, and then we'll check it at the back as well It is important.
You pin it all the way through to the back, or just?
Yeah, you pin it all the way through to the back, because the idea now is that we're going to actually to fix this piece inside, and we fix it thanks to 4 lines of stitches, which is, this is 4 centimeters wide, so it's going to be 2 in the middle. This line is going to run in the middle like this, and it's going to hold this piece inside. Okay, so I'm just making roughly sure that it's about okay on the front. 2 more. No, that's not okay. So there's a lot of adjusting and really playing around with the fabric, seeing how it goes. You know, fabric is alive. It's something really organic for me. It's not stiff. Cannot. That's it. So when you turn it round, you see, you can see here it doesn't really work well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my time, put that fabric nicely there, and then I will show you these 4 lines, and then, well, we gradually get there for as far as the rakusu is concerned. I mean, the body, because it's nearly finished, then you just have 2 squares to put, but the 4 squares rather. But the 4 squares, you put them at the very, very end when you will put your silk inside, and then the 4 square will just, like in a mandala, keep your silk and every piece together as a sort of safety. They are just 4 little guardians for the rakusu. Okay? So see you next time when everything is properly lined up and ready. Okay? Hi. So we've got now the white cotton, the central piece, but before we actually put the white cotton in, we just need to fix that central piece to the actual frame, which I've done while I was away. So how you do this is very simple. You can put some pins or just thread running through, making sure you keep the edges of the back away so you don't sew through. Just you sew the frame on the back. The frame here goes here on the central piece without going through this. So you have to push that aside, make sure you don't sew through this material. Alright? And as I said, you might just use just thread a needle and just sew along like this to make it easy to go through instead of using needles. You first use needles, but then you do that, and then you remove the needles, and eventually when that is done, you can turn the thing again, find the folds that you should find easily if you iron them well, like that, and you put this piece inside, like that. You tuck it in, right? Okay, and then you should again iron, of course, and the next stage, and we'll do that next time, is to draw one line 2 centimeters from both edges. So this is 4 centimeters width, so just in the middle, and sew along that line, as well as sew along the edge here. But that can go through, which means that this line doesn't go through, it's under this white cotton, but the 2 lines we're about to sew, the middle one and the edge one, will go through at the back, will go through the whole thickness of the fabric and keep everything together. Okay? I'll do that next time.